Hey everyone, Desk Check here. I just want to say before we really get into this video that regardless of my personal beliefs or like my opinions on culture and the culture war, truth and facts do matter. It's what separates us from the wokies. We can't just create whatever narrative we want just because we don't like that a game is succeeding. So, Kingdom Come Deliverance, the narratives surrounding it have escalated, and guess who's escalating it? John F. Trent and Arroz. Go figure. I know, right? So, they they couldn't get people to turn on the game because of gay sex. So now they're trying to say that the game is child exploitation.
What? What? But what? What?
Yeah. So they're using a in-game text talking about, I guess, the character that Hans was based on, who may or may not have been like 15 in the actual history, but clearly the character isn't a teenager. He's a full-grown adult. And they wouldn't even be legally allowed to sell the game if that were the case. Even still, people are reacting to this, despite these two having a history of just being bad actors. Here we go, the Kingdom Come Pulse, Fandom Pulse article with almost 500,000 impressions at this point. And a lot of people are just taking John's word for it just because he found some in-game text. Like, you could see a lot of the anti-gooners pearl clutching, saying like, oh my god, this is the character they are referring to is Hans, by the way. The voice actor is 31 years old and in-game is visually in the early to mid-20s. Clearly, this is not a child. Also, maybe you don't romance him and go after all the wenches and go after all the wenches. The player is responsible for the buttons they press. Ugh. This is freaking ridiculous. They wouldn't even be legally allowed to sell the game. And now some people who are taking their word for it are now asking people to report the game on Steam for child exploitation. I mean, this is insane. I didn't even finish the first game. Hans is clearly an adult. And of course, like, none of this is stopping. The game has now released over 200k players on Steam. So it's doing very well, very well. This is like reverse Hogwarts Legacy, what we're seeing right now. It's wild. So I see people, including people I consider my friends, falling for this, or like at least giving it credence, even though John F. Trent and John De La Rose have been proven liars and hypocrites. Uh, so I don't want to go over like any of their tweets or point out any names, but I'm just getting my opinion out, and that opinion is that this is nothing. Anti-woke has just completely become the very thing they swore to destroy. They are now lying just because they see a game that's like against their agenda, and now it's terrible. I want like my channel, like I go wherever the facts take me, and the facts stay. Like, even if Vavra lied about taking ESG bribes and stuff, like, he did not break the law to release this game. Why would he? Why would he do that? That would, I mean, if the game was a piece of woke propaganda, the last thing they want is to like get in trouble with the law. So no, it's just, people just need to freaking think. They need to think. Like, they can't just run with everything just because they don't like a freaking game. And at this point, I hope Vavra sues Fandom Pulse for every freaking penny. Because, like, if they're willing to lie just to promote their, like, reverse SJW agenda, you know, screw it. Like, there needs to be consequences for just lying. Like, this is cancel pig. Like, John Del Rose says he's being canceled for being called out for wanting to screw Pokemon. Well, I mean, what can I say? Like, these people, like, they've proven to me there is no low they won't stoop to try and, like, win. And that's not me. I'm not, I said from the very beginning, Kingdom Come should speak for itself. Like, don't care what the dev says or anything. Just let the game speak for itself. And people are speaking with their wallets and they're playing the game. So, like, my job is done. Mission accomplished. But, still people want to keep it going. Me, I'm just waiting for the freaking new Yakuza game. Ah, this is so freaking nutty. I am embarrassed, man. I am freaking embarrassed that, like, this is, like, I think this could kill, like, just all the progress we made last year as far as pushing back against wokeness in games. And do you guys all remember, like, one of my first big hits on YouTube was talking about Fire Emblem Engage and how they got rid of, like, almost all the romance because of canonical ages in the game, including, like, this girl who's like a freaking child, and all the everyone on the anti-woke side was like, why can't I romance the child? Like, because Loli isn't that or something. People made a big stink about it. And, culture differences in Japan, whatnot. And now, like, we have this character, Hans, who's clearly an adult in the game. And they're trying to say that he's a 15-year-old. No. No, no, no. And, it's so weird is that, I'm trying to remember the character's name. Alir. Alir is like an 1,000-year-old dragon anyway, with a body of a teenager, and yet he can't, like, romance any of the other, like, characters, even though the previous game had romance because of, like, all this stuff with age. Like, like, it's amazing how things change in 2 years. It is just amazing. Like, everything's upside down right now. Like, we've become, I mean, like, I don't know. The paradigms have freaking shifted. It's nuts. Instead of having one faction of uptight moral crusaders, we have two now. It's, oh my God. Things are never going to be easy, aren't they? But anyway, those are my thoughts on the situation. Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching. I'm Dash Attack, and I'll see you next time.